Hello, guys. Good evening once again. Good evening, good morning, good day, wherever you guys are. Welcome to another episode of Digital Business Daily. I'm your host. My name is Jonathan Francis Po. Coach John, Kuya J, Jonathan. Once again, welcome. Anyway, the title of the show or the topic for tonight are the words that shift your mindset. Parang ano lang po to it's like a light discussion. Kasi last night I just realized my topic was too deep. Pati ako na confused. So, just a disclaimer, lahat po ng all the names, all the motivational speakers that I'm going to mention, I'm not endorsed by them, or I'm not endorsing them, or I'm not affiliated with them. All their famous quotes, I'm just gonna use for educational purposes only and inspirational purpose as well. Okay, so ang the topic for tonight, I'm just gonna tackle 10 of. I'm just looking at my notes. The 10 quotes with deep meaning. Yan. So, oh, thanks for the heart, whoever you are. Comment down below too if you want. Anyway, if you're at the eve, or all my friends come on happen, and then we can discuss this. So these are the 10 most famous quotes by famous motivational speakers. Okay, and then I'm just gonna look at my notes. Okay, number one, we all know Tony Robbins, diba? What a great guy. So one of his famous quote is, "The only limit to your impact is your imagination and commitment." Okay, let me say that again. The only limit to your impact is your imagination and commitment. What does it mean? So this is about vision, consistency. Most people have big dreams, but hindi po sila nagfa-follow through. Oh, I want this, I want that, 'di ba? Or I want to be the best in my field. Pero what do? You don't do your extra training. When you clock out from work, what do? You don't find ways to get better, 'di ba? Okay lang, you're satisfied. So your impact is affected by your consistency. Make sense? Okay, so if you want a different life, yun ang sinasabi po ni Tony Robbins. If you want a different life, you start by imagining something big, something bigger. And then you show up, always, you breathe the reason why you're doing it. You wake up in the morning, you're thinking about it. You Before you go to bed, you think about why you want to do this, your dream, right? Creating a vision board. Those are the things. And then each time you look at that vision board, I'm looking at mine right now, guys. Yung parang it's kind of scary, but the thing is, if you're gonna dream something big, so your impact will be bigger, diba? Yeah. So that's Tony Robbins. Hopefully, you guys, you guys understand what I'm talking about. So once again, Tony Robbins said, "The only limit to your impact is your imagination and commitment." You cannot show up one day, oh, I'm all consistent, diba? And then you skip the second day, you skip the third day, the fourth day you show up, you skip again, you skip again. No, every single day you have to be consistent, you have to follow through. For example, you're in our business, right? You need to do your training, you need to do your business, you have to be present, you have to do it consistently, you have to reply to all messages kahit na nakapikit pa yung mata mo. You have to reply. You have to connect with people who wants to reach out to you. Diba? That's what you call consistency. And Tony Robbins is right. Your impact. If you're consistent enough, kahit na there is no, um, even though you don't see any result in the beginning of your business venture, it will come. You know, through your consistency, through your imagination, the result will come. Okay. So number one is Tony Robbins. Number two. So for those of you who are watching right now, I'm tackling 10 of the most famous quotes by the most famous motivational speakers out there. So this will shift your mindset. Okay. First one, I talked about Tony Robbins. Number two, we all know Jim Rohn, right? Jim Rohn. And one of his famous quote is, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. What does it mean? One more time. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Okay, I'll give you a good example. Or let me give you a explanation first. Everyone has goals, right? What separates the achievers from the dreamers is discipline. What do you mean? Okay. For example, um, I'm starting a business. I have big dreams, like what Tony Robbins said, consistency. So if I'm disciplined enough, if I block my time every single day where I work on my business uh, on a specific time of day every single day, even though I don't feel like it, even though I'm tired from work, as long as I do it, as long as I be disciplined enough to do my part, my business will grow. Make sense? So you don't feel disappointed if there's no result on what you're doing. It's like a bamboo tree growing. It's You don't see the result because you only see what we see is above the ground. But little that we all know, the bamboo tree is growing from the bottom. The roots are anchoring itself. So when there's a when there's a strong wind, even though the bamboo bends, it will not break because it's already rooted, just like us. Even though the results are not coming on our early stage in business, that's okay. We're building, we're growing as a person. So next, I don't know if you guys know. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Les Brown. Okay, this is the third quote. Les Brown, um, shoot for the moon. Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll you'll land among the stars. Right? Sh- Shoot for the moon. Even though you miss the moon, you will land among the stars. What does it mean? Aim high. If you're gonna dream high, because if you aim high, then you're if you dream beyond your comfort zone, you will get results. Your dream will come in due time. Diba sabi niya, high goal force you to grow. Because if you're gonna dream, oh, I wanna build a business. I want to build something that will actually provide for my family, right? Um, Even though it's too high, might as well go for it, because if you dream a small dream, you will be just satisfied about that, right? And being satisfied sometimes is not going to let you grow. Okay, so become stronger, become better, and find the best version of you. That's what Les Brown said. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, guys. I'm sorry. Shoot for the moon, even though you miss, you still land among the stars. So dream big, dream big. Okay, number fourth. I'm going too fast, I think. This is gonna be a short go live, guys. Eric Thomas is the number fourth. Um, Number fourth. What do you call this? A motivational speakers quotes. Can you guys hear that bell? There's my dog. Okay, he said, "When you want to succeed, see, yeah, he's there." And again, so Eric Thomas said, "When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful." That's a very good quote. Okay. When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you will be successful. If you think about everything, if you think about succeeding every single second of your life, every single moment, then eventually you will get to that point because you will do everything that you can to actually find a way to succeed. This is about intensity. you know Sometimes life won't move unless you're desperate for a change. Those people who said, oh, I had it. I'm so done. I want a change. That's the time that they move. Sometimes if there's no urgency, we will not move. That's what's happening, right? So sometimes, also, when success becomes a need, not a preference, you stop negotiating with any excuses. That makes sense. So if the notion of succeeding becomes a need, then you will do everything to get to that point. Diba? Okay, number 5. I don't know if you guys know Zig Ziglar. Okay, I kind of know Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar said, "You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great." Self-explanatory. Most people delay their action because they don't feel ready. That's a false notion, guys. Nobody is ready, but it's better if you are ready. Oh, it's better to start if you're ready. Hold on, guys. There you go. Whew. My laptop just went 1%. Anyway, let me say it again. Say it again. Thanks for the watchers, guys. I'm doing the most famous quotes by the most famous motivational speaker. So the fifth one is Zig Ziglar. He said, "You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great." Okay, those are the people who have limiting beliefs. So I'm not good enough. I am not smart enough to do this business. I can do go live on my own. I don't know if I'm, all this limiting belief. Start. In order for you to be great, you need to start. Plain and simple. Start scared. Start like the world is against you. Start. That's the most important thing is to take that first step, which means you're coming out of your comfort zone. Do it. Just do it. Okay. Okay. Number 6. We all know Mel Robbins. I actually listened to Mel Robbins while I was driving. When was that? 3 days ago. So awesome. Well, anyway, Mel Robbins said, "You are one decision away from a completely different life." This is actually directly, it correlates directly with the business that we do. I've been doing this since 2022, guys. And the very first thing I did was to take action. That's what Mel Robbins is saying. You are one decision away from a completely different life. For those of you who are employees working multiple jobs, you know multiple careers, up to a certain point will you say enough is enough. Okay. And your wage is based solely on the time that you spend at work. What if your body cannot take it any longer, and that's the time that you're gonna think? No. No, start something now. So by the time your body can't do it any longer, working multiple jobs, you have a passive income that's generating, in the background. Okay, just a quick note, guys. We are running a legit global business. That means you need capital. It, if for some of you guys who are asking that they want a successful business that do not need any capital, it does not exist. Okay, I'm just a side note. Okay, so Mel Robbins said your life can actually change instantly by taking a single action. All big, transformations start with one decision. You know, starting a business, registering to our free workshop, and then if you do want to proceed, and then you can pay the 149, right? Those are the next step. But if you decide that, whatever, I'm not after you watching the free workshop, it's like, this might not be for me. That's fine. Walk away. But give this business the information that you will get, consume it, understand it, and see if this business is the right fit for you, because the chance of you succeeding is not going to come if you just walk away without a complete understanding of what we have, right? Okay. Whew. Okay. Number 7. Okay. We all some of you guys probably know this guy, Grant Cardone. Okay. Grant Cardone, he said, success is your duty, your obligation, and your responsibility. We are born to succeed. Okay. But if we do not embrace the logic, the fact that we are worthy of succeeding, it's not going to happen. Cardone basically reframes success as something you owe to your family and to yourself. You know, for those of you who are providers, if you guys have children, a family, taking care of your parents, you owe it to them for you to you owe to them to be successful in order for you to provide for them. Make sense? How can you provide if you don't have a stable, even though being stable is not really realistic nowadays? If you don't have work, if you do not have income, if you do not have any savings that will actually put your kids to college, how can you live off on a minimum wage, right? So think about that. You owe it to yourself to succeed. That's what Grant Cardone is saying. So thanks for those of you who are watching. Comment down below, guys. Comment down below. All right, number 8. Just a disclaimer. I mentioned this in the beginning of this go live. All these motivational speakers, I'm not affiliated with them. They're not sponsoring me. Nothing. I'm just using what I learned from them as an educational piece and for inspiration. So hopefully you guys learned something. So Brian Tracy is the 8th speaker. Okay, he said, successful people are simply those with successful habits. Oh my goodness. Okay, once again, successful people are simply those with successful habits. Okay, I'll give you an example. Okay, you have Tom and you have Paul. Okay, Tom, he works, just a scenario. Tom works 2 jobs, okay, but he's passionate, he is consistent, he is just a minimum wage, but he wants to succeed. He wants to build a business that's going to be supporting him maybe 5 years from now, so he doesn't have to worry about working. You have Paul, who's educated, highest paid, whatever probably an engineer, whatever, high paying career, right? But sometimes he gets lazy. Sometimes he's not consistent to follow through with his dream of starting a business as well. Okay. Do you think the consistent one or the lazy one will end up being successful? Of course, the consistent one, right? Because he has a successful habit. He reads motivational piece. He continuously learn the business in and out. He connects with people, so he grows. He starts within and he expands out, right? So he becomes better at what he does. The smarter one, the engineer, the high paying, because he's already satisfied, I guess, whatever his reason is. His success will come eventually, but he's not consistent enough to reach that goal in probably in the immediate foreseeable future. So that's what Brian Tracy is saying. Okay. Okay. This one's one of my favorite. Napoleon Hill. Okay. Napoleon Hill said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Are you guys familiar with like the law of attraction? Whatever you think, whatever you feel, whatever you dream will come true, and you can achieve that. I know some of you guys have been around people who's so negative, very toxic. They will tell you, you will always hear them say, "Oh, I cannot afford it," "Oh, how come some people are doing this?" "Oh, just negativity oozing, out of them." So, do you think, because they think about being negative, they think about all the shortcomings that they have, they're introducing that to the universe, and the universe give it back to them tenfolds. Make sense? So, if you for those of you who's not familiar with the law of attraction, go ahead and just research about that. And then there are many topics. There's an old movie as well that you can watch. It's free on you, no, on video, streaming video. I'm not gonna say the platform. Anyway, so whatever we think about most of the time and believe, we all can achieve. Let me see what he says in my note. Napoleon Hill teaches us that belief is the seed of achievement. If you can't see your future, you can't build it. Okay, belief creates persistence, and persistence create results. So if we believe it, we will achieve it by following through, making a plan, and just doing it right. So okay, number 10, Robin Sharma. I'm not really familiar with. I've known of Robin Sharma, but Robin Sharma said, "Small daily improvements over time lead to stunning result." It falls under consistency as well. A small action today will accumulate into huge result. That's what consistency is, right? So that means compounding result. I think um man, I read a book. I forgot now. I'm blanking out. One of the book about habits. If whoever's watching, I forgot the name of the book. I forgot the author. I don't know. I'm blanking out. But anyway, he talks about compounding results. Every small, it's the same thing what Sharma is saying. If we take consistent action, it will compound into huge results. So if you keep on posting in your page, if you keep on posting daily, connecting daily, learning and improving your craft, it will compound to a bigger result, right? So your business will grow. So that's what it means. And let me add one of my favorite quote from uh, goodness, I don't know, my brain is Uh, my brain is tired, guys. Anyway, um, what was that code? Now I don't remember. I will just leave. If I remember the code that I'm gonna try, I'm gonna type it here, and then yeah, comment down below if you guys any other codes that we can talk about. Let me see here, guys. Sorry. Thanks for the watcher. Thanks for the watcher. Okay, give me a second. Give me a second here. If I can remember what I'm trying to say. Let me see. Sorry, guys. Everybody's out tonight, so I just wanna be consistent enough. Life, they're probably busy with life. Thanks for the two watchers. Uh, okay, now I remember. It's Earl Nightingale. I think Earl Nightingale said something about we become. It's like related to the last quote that I said. We become what we think about. That's what the law of attractions tell us, right? Your dominant thoughts. If you keep on thinking about it, it will shape into your results. So if you think about being an employee all your life, you know oh, I'm satisfied, I'm just getting a small amount extra per paycheck. I'm okay with that. So your dream, your bigger dream will shut down and you're just going to be satisfied because that's what you think about. But if you are the type of person who's not satisfied and you owe it to yourself and you owe it to your family to succeed, to have a bigger dream, to have a bigger result for your family so you can provide for them, then you become what you think about. That's what Earl Nightingale said, right? So hopefully I'm giving you guys some knowledge here. Okay. Oh, Tony Robbins earlier, right? His partner, Dean Graziosi. Okay. The Dean Graziosi said, let me see here. The biggest obstacle standing between you and your goals is the story you keep telling yourself. Change your narrative, change your life. Hmm. Okay. Let me repeat that. The biggest obstacle standing between you and your goal is the story you keep telling yourself. Okay. It boils down to, let's go back to limiting belief. I mentioned this in the beginning of our Go Live. I'm not good enough. Okay. Some people already are more talented than me. Some people are already more skillful than me. That's why they are getting results, more results than me. That's the reason why I'm shy. I might be overweight. I know I might be overweight, so people don't relate to me. I've heard that so many excuses by other people. I am so many, but the thing is, people don't care. People connect with you by the story you tell them, by your branding. So if you keep on telling yourself, I'm not good enough to do this business, I'm not smart enough to do this business, or if I'm not talented enough to connect with people, then that's the story that you keep telling yourself. And that's the negative the negative thoughts that you're building. So you become what you think about, right? So change your story. Change that will change your life. Instead of being negative, just tell yourself, huh, my breakthrough is coming. you know my next yes is coming. I'm excited for that, and I am building slowly, but I know that someday I'm excited to see my better version of me. Something like that. And you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised how. And what else, guys? Uh, I think I covered everything. Okay. I don't know if you guys know one more. John Maxwell. Disclaimer: I mentioned this earlier twice. I'm just going over different motivational speakers and their most famous quotes. Um, and I'm not affiliated with them. I'm just using their quotes as for educational purposes. Okay, last one. Um, he actually mentioned this, but this quote came from the Bible. He just used it. Okay, he said, "Is Steve Harvey, one of my one of my favorite of all time motivational speaker, because he said something about he does motivational speaker and he's a very successful one because he came from nothing twice. He became homeless and then succeeded because of the belief that he has. And one of his famous quotes said, it's not on my note, it's just on my head. You have not because you ask not. One more time. You have not because you ask not. That's what one of Steve Harvey's famous quote. What does it mean? You're you don't have anything. You don't you're broke. Sorry for that term. You don't you have your dream is not there. because you do not ask above. You do not ask God to help you. Your mindset is always stuck as being an employee. You do not dream, you do not elevate yourself, you do not improve. That's why you don't have anything. If you ask God for guidance, then you'll get that because you can dream a bigger dream. And you might not have the answer right now, but with His guidance, you will get through that if you're consistent and passionate about your dream. Whew, all right. I don't know. I said last night I'm not gonna have a heavy, heavy topic, but for those of you who watched, thank you for watching, and hopefully you guys learned something today. I'm running out of ideas of the topic because we've been doing this show for 3 years, guys. Mostly every day, Monday to Friday, mostly, but sometimes topics are hard to come by. So for those who are following our show, please comment down below and give me some topics so I can tackle that. I just don't want to talk about business all the time. I want to talk about life. I want to talk about mindset, personal development, and all those topics that we can discuss. Well, whoever's watching right now, thank you. Oh, I have two watchers in my YouTube platform. Thanks, guys, for watching. And once again, my name is Jonathan Francis from Las Vegas. I'm a coach in my business. Um, if you guys are thinking about starting your own digital business online, where it's like a plug and play business in the box kind of business, global, and of course, you need a capital. Don't be scared of the word capital, guys. If you want to start a business that's actually legit, that can generate income for you, you do need a capital. Even though it's a small capital, you can make this work. So just connect with me, visit my page. My website is right here, www.jonathan-francis.com. And then I can guide you, I can train you myself, and then yeah, let's connect. And then that's it. Good night, guys. Good morning, whoever's watching. And for those of you who will watch the replay, hopefully you enjoyed my topic for tonight. And I'll be back tomorrow and see what I can come up with. Hopefully, some of my business partners, my friends, can hop along and do the show with me. All right. Thanks, guys. Signing off.